Hello and welcome to a new video. As you can see, it's of a VHS cassette and it's of the 1999 movie Back to the Future Part 2, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, and Thomas F. Wilson. Now, for those of you regulars on my YouTube channel, you would have seen that a few months ago I did a Back to the Future video, and that was a VHS cassette as well. And I spoke about my memories with that particular movie and the format of VHS cassette, which was the format before DVD. And obviously now we're moving on to Back to the Future Part 2. A friend of mine kindly donated me her Back to the Future trilogy on VHS cassette. So a special thank you to the friend of mine for doing that. Originally, when I never owned Back to the Future on VHS cassette, as I said in that video. I had watched them around my cousin's house, and eventually I would record them onto a blank VHS cassette. And then obviously, when it went to the DVD format, I eventually ended up buying them on DVD, the trilogy, and various different times on Blu-ray Steelbook, whether it was a box set, 40th anniversary, or a Steelbook. Now, the reason why Back to the Future Part 2 has a special place in my heart for me was because it was the very first VHS cassette that I actually bought as a teenager out of my own money. Now, it wasn't the first VHS cassette that I ever owned. And that would have been the 1986 animated movie Transformers the Movie on VHS cassette, which I don't own anymore. That was the very first VHS cassette that I was given. I can't remember if it was given to me as a birthday present or a Christmas present. And my brother got given Thundercats Hold the movie. But yeah, that was the first, the Transformers the movie, animated movie was the first VHS cassette that was given. But Back to the Future Part 2 was the very first VHS cassette that I actually bought out of my own pocket money. And I remember when it got released, and there was a store that was around nationwide. Obviously, it closed in early 2000. For those of you in the UK, you might remember the store called Woolworths, and they sold CDs, like video cassettes, clothes, sweets, all sorts of stuff. And I remember saving up my money, and it was a Saturday morning. And I knew that the Woolworths was going to open around about 9 o'clock. So my Woolworths walking distance is about 15-20 minutes. And at the time, in my youth, I ran straight down to Woolworths and saw the Back to the Future Part 2 and VHS cassettes on display, on the display boxes. And then I couldn't wait to sit there and pay for it and then come running back home with it. And yeah, I was just really excited when I was in there, and I caught my eye on the VHS cassette box, and I think at the time it was $12.99. So that's how much I remember it being. Now the one here, the only difference between if I'm remembering this now, the difference between this one and the one I originally owned is that, as you can see, the case is translucent, so you can kind of halfway see through it. The one I had, it was complete. It was a black case. So you couldn't see through it at all. But other than that, obviously, it was identical. And the one that my friend bought, you can see it's got the original price of $4.99, because I think it was in the time from HMV. Similar to Back to the Future 1, which I did in that video. And yes, it's definitely from HMV, because it was originally £16.49, and the sale price was $4.99. So, wow, it just shows you how much things were. And you've got the back of it. Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd reprised their roles as Martin McFly and Doc Brown in this dazzling new adventure from the executive producer Steven Spielberg and director Robert Zemeckis. A exhilarating visit by Marty and Doc to the year 2015 seemingly resolves a few problems with the future McFly's family. But when the two return home, they soon discover someone has tampered with time to produce a nightmarish Hill Valley 1985. Their only hope is once again to get back to 1955 and save the future. It's a fast-packed comic fantasy that Time magazine calls rich in invention and astonishment. And it was rated PG, general viewing, but some scenes may not be suitable for children. I'm trying to see the running time in it. The running time was 104 minutes, so it's just under 2 hours. But yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I mean, one of the reasons why I loved, and then I loved the movie was seeing the adverts for it. Was for me was the 2015 parts of the movie. Obviously, that it didn't stay too long in that era. And I loved Marty's self-sizing jacket, which I wish I had one of those. And obviously the self-lacing trainers, which eventually would have, a couple of decades later, would actually exist, but obviously very expensive. And then obviously you got the hoverboards, which at the time, young kids at the time thought the hoverboards were real, and obviously they actually weren't. And I'm still waiting for the hoverboards to arrive, the proper hoverboards, but obviously those probably may never see the light of day. But I absolutely love this movie in terms of it copied some of the beat for beats from Back to the Future, from the first movie. And then we would go back into the alternate 1985. And then they would have to go back into 1955. And I loved how what they did was they basically went back into the first film, which I think is a clever thing to do. And then even actually showed you new scenes from the first movie, which is a bit weird, but you'll see where I'm coming from. And the fact that Marty had to get the almanac back, but without the Marty from Back to the Future seeing him, otherwise it would cause a major paradox. So I thought that was very clever in the way it did it. And it was a much more of a darker movie, similar to Empire Strikes Back, in terms of obviously that was out of the original trilogy, that was the darker movie, and that's what Back to the Future for me. But as what I loved Back to the Future Part 2, I mean, in some ways it's evolved for me. The first one is the classic movie. I think this one is the one where it's a lot more clever in terms of the actual story plot and the storyline and what greed kind of does to you. And obviously it sets up the third film with the ending. And I don't know if most people probably don't know, may or may not know that Back to the Future Part 2 and 3 were actually filmed at the same time. And I think it was one of the first movies to have these sequels filmed back to back. They did a similar thing with the Matrix sequels as well, the second and third movies of the Matrix movies, where they were filmed back to back. And obviously Back to the Future was the first movie, Part 2 and 3 were the first movies to do that. The title name for the Back to the Future Part 2 was actually called Paradox. And it was a way to throw off people trying to spoil the movie. So that was the actual original title of the movie. And there was sort of certain hints to for the foreshadowing of Back to the Future Part 3, where if you look at in the future, we look at Doc Brown's shirt, you see he's wearing a shirt which has got full of trains on it. So that was definitely a setup for Back to the Future Part 3. But as I said, I love that. And then the flying DeLorean and the hover conversion that they've done in it, and the Jaws 19. This time it's really, really personal. I love that as well. Obviously, if you look in the antique shop, you can see some NES games in there, the Apple One, and you can actually see the camcorder that Marty had from Back to the Future Part 1. And also Marty's jeans jacket is actually in there as well, and a Roger Rabbit figure in a plush figure in it as well. So if you keep an eye out for that, you can see all that in it. Now, a lot of people may not realize, obviously, that Marty's girlfriend was originally played by Claudia Wells, but in the sequel, and in the third movie as well, it's a different actress played by Elizabeth Shue. Now, the reason why it's a different actress is because of, from what I've read, that Claudia Wells' mother at the time was really sick, so she temporarily quit acting to look after her mother. So during this period, they had to get another actress, which was obviously Claudia Wells, to play Marty's girlfriend. So that's the reason why the actress is different. So I see a lot of people doing reactions and realize it, and people don't understand why the actress is different. So I hope this does explain a lot. Again, I do love the artwork and the way it's painted. I did have a poster of it, so I think I've still got it. I think it was, and in actual fact, I think it was one of the first posters that I bought for my bedroom as a teenager, because it's just a classic poster. And I got mine from, there was a online site called play.com, which doesn't exist anymore, and they used to do a lot of movie posters and a lot of video game posters as well, and they used to do them really cheap with free delivery as well. So I used to get a load of them. So I've got tons and tons of movie posters upstairs. I've got tons of them, so I would love to showcase them, but it's gonna be really hard in trying to show them. But yeah, I can't say how much enough that I love Back to the Future Part 2. It's, again, great movie, and the fact that, as I said before, it was the first VHS cassette that I actually bought out of my own money, that I bought for myself, and that's why I will always forever remember this movie. And obviously, as I said before, I love the future stuff in that movie as well, so that's why I particularly, although it didn't stay too long in that time frame, so that's why I absolutely loved it. So you can take this off now. Shouldn't be too easy, too difficult to take off. But obviously now, Back to the Future is available on DVD. There's been different versions of the movie, whether it's you buy them individually or as box sets, or they've done 30 or 40 anniversary versions of the movie. It's also available on Blu-ray, Blu-ray box sets, and also as Blu-ray steelbooks as well. And now it is available, so get the rest of this off, in 4K as well. So I'm eventually, when I get a 4K TV, I'm definitely going to be getting Back to the Future on 4K as well, and it'll be interesting to see how good that looks. Now, the last Back to the Future trilogy Blu-ray box that I got, which was on Blu-ray, has got the latest transfer in it, so it's meant to look a lot better than the previous other ones, although they, in my eyes, still looked very good as well. So I'm trying to get this last bit of sticker left. Yeah, we've got all that off, so so I'll be looking after these, and then we'll take that one off as well. So I think I still have my VHS cassette player, my VHS cassette player somewhere in the house, but I'm probably not going to be watching these, obviously, because now they're on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K as well. Now, so that for me is going to be the best way of watching them. Although, and also there's streaming sites available where you can watch the movies, and then over here on Sky, they're always constantly showing the Back to the Future trilogy on there. So it opens up, and then you've got the cassette. As you can see, this is at the end of the movie. So the thing is with VHS cassettes is that once you got to the end of the movie, you had to rewind it to watch the movie from scratch. Obviously with DVD and Blu-ray and 4K, you don't need to rewind it. Obviously this is the VHS cassette, and you can see it just says Back to the Future 2, not even Part 2 on there. And then you've got that little button there which you press, and then that would expose the tape. And that's one thing I said before earlier on with tape, with the threads, that sometimes it could get caught inside the rollers on the VHS player, and then you have to carefully take it out without tearing the threads. And obviously hopefully it wouldn't do any too much damage. But yeah, can't say how much that I love Back to the Future Part 2. Again, one of my favourite movies, and next movie up will be Back to the Future Part 3 on VHS cassette. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to share with your friends and family. Also, you can give this video a thumbs up. I would highly appreciate that. That allows people to find my YouTube channel content. This is because the YouTube algorithms favour the bigger YouTubers, so their YouTube channels get advertised in the YouTube recommendation page. So it would be nice to get some new subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, Please consider subscribing if you want to see stuff like this. VHS cassettes, which I don't do very often. Obviously, we did Back to Part 1, and we've just obviously wrapped up with Part 2, and we'll be doing Part 3. Also, Blu-ray and Blu-ray Steelbook unboxings, as well as on rare occasion DVD unboxings. Also, my Blu-ray and Blu-ray Steelbook collection, as well as my DVD limited edition collection. Also, video game unboxings, video game playthroughs, comics. Been loving the Absolute series from DC Comics. Comic book graphic novels, which I've recently uploaded. But I receive this, I would have uploaded for free Jokers, so you can check out that. And there'll be many more many more graphic novels to come. Also, comic book statues and figures. I've recently actually bought 5 now, but and the last one is something movie related. It may be something to do with this movie, so you'll have to subscribe to check out what that is. Also, trying to think what the other thing is. Also, I've got something super related, something in relation to the 1986 animated movie Transformers the movie, so you can check that out. Also, some Star Wars related, and also something in relation to a video game franchise, a strong video game character, so you can check out that. And as I said, the 5th one is actually in relation to this movie, so I'm going to be filming that pretty much soon after I wrap up this video. Also, food and drink reviews. The last one I did was with the Iron Brew 1901 original recipe, so check out that video. Also, gadgets and DIY products. Also, film memorabilia stuff, which again, I've got some stuff coming up which will be Back to the Future related. Also, beauty products, whether it's body washes, shower gels, bath salts, aftershaves, and facial products. And what I normally do is I do follow-up videos as YouTube shorts after a few weeks of use, telling you whether I recommend those particular products or not. So, and whether or not they're money for value. So you can check out those videos. Also art books, where I've done one of the movie Gemini Man, one of Black Panther Wakanda, and one of the art and making of Pacific Rim Uprising. Normally those brand new hard back art books go for anywhere between £30 to £35, but I got those particular art books anywhere between £2.99 and £4.99 each from Forbidden Planet, so you can check out those. I do have some other art books that I got from previous January sales, and they will be movie, TV show, and video game related. And also I'll be showcasing some of my other art books I've had in my collections over the last few years. A lot of them are super related, in particular the Dark Knight trilogy and James Bond. Also electrical products unboxings. I've done a microwave and 3 Vax products. 2D Vax products I'm going to be doing follow-up reviews of those, so you can check those out. Also, I do a monthly vlog, which is what I'm up to for the present month. I want to be up to next month, and also rant videos and also YouTube shorts as well. Also accessories, whether it's for gaming, where I've done several videos on different battery packs for the Xbox controllers. Also accessory for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I've recently done a couple of videos on that, so you can check that out. Also, I've done a Switch 2 unboxing video, which you can check out, which I had to upload, re-upload again, because I don't know why Twitch deleted it, so you can check out my unboxing of the Switch 2. Also, I've been doing a series of comparison videos comparing the Switch 1 to the Switch 2, whether it's the Joy-Cons, the dock, and even right down to the adapter, even right down to the box. You can check out those videos as well. I do clothing pickups as well. I've actually done a couple of products that I got from JD Sports, so you can check out that when that's finally uploaded. Also, movie and TV show reviews and recommendations. Recently done a review of the movie Batman Forever. You can check out that. Great Blu-ray Steelbook. Also the movie Sudden Death, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Powers Booth. Again, that does have a very funny death scene in it. Also of the movie Iron Man, starring Robert Downey Jr. Again, one of my favourite Marvel movies, not only just from phase 1, but overall in general, so you can check out the reviews of those. Also of Mission Impossible, starring Tom Cruise. Again, fantastic Blu-ray Steelbook. Again, great transfer. Products in better than 4K, I'm even guessing, so you can check out the reviews of those. Also the 1982 movie Tron. Again, classic movie, the effects still hold up, great Blu-ray steelbooks, you can check out that video. And also the 1982 movie, Star Trek to the Wrath of Khan. Again, one of the best Star Trek movies of all time in my honest opinion. Great Blu-ray steelbook, and then it does come with two versions of the movie, the director's cut and the theatrical cut of the movie as well. So you can check out all those videos on my YouTube channel, and there's going to be more content coming up over the weeks and months on my YouTube channel, so please consider subscribing. Christmas 2023 we hit 500 subs, 2024 we hit 600 subs, and as of the, let's see what date it is as of the 25th of June, we've hit more than we're more than halfway to 900 YouTube subscribers. So again, thank you to those of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel, whether or not you're a long-term subscriber or you're a recent subscriber to my YouTube channel. Hopefully you all enjoy the content. If there's any questions you want to ask about a particular product, then please feel free to ask, and I'll do the best I can in answering any of those questions. So again, hopefully we can push with an extra few more subs to get to 900 YouTube subscribers, and hopefully the big 1,000, which has been my main big target for the last couple of years. So hopefully we can get there. So a big thank you to every single one of you. I also live stream on Twitch. To find me name, same name as my YouTube name, add the numbers 76. If you want to follow me on there and still can't find me, I will have linked in the description box. I don't have a set schedule when I live stream, and this is mainly because of the YouTube algorithm. Mainly because I don't have a set schedule, mainly because of my hectic personal life and also health issues as well. So it's a day-by-day basis of when I can and can't stream. Normally what I do is I try to export the videos to YouTube if I have the copyright material in the actual gameplay. And speaking of YouTube, on the rare occasion I do live stream to YouTube. It will be casual gaming, so it'll be beat 'em ups, platform games, shoot 'em up, sports games, race games, things like that. Even if you do miss the live streams, the videos will be kept up. As more than a month ago, I did 2 birthday streams, which are still up. Although it would be nice to have some live viewership, even if you can't make it, that's fine. The videos will be kept up, so you can watch it whenever you have the free time to do so. But hit the notification bell on the off chance that I do live stream. And just leave to say, wherever you are in the world, please stay safe. And I'll speak to you again on the next video. Bye for now.